Oh, what's going on, guys? This popped in my head while I was driving, and because my mind's all over the place, I just said, let me go ahead and just put this on video before I forget later. This is a little PSA for guys that's about to do the 17, any upgraded turbos, whether you're going with the Chinese 17T, 19Ts, or even the pure 600s, RBs, whatever you do. Even the guys that go single turbo, it might not apply too much to y'all, but it's still good to do. I cannot stress this enough for anybody that's like, why before you even touch a turbo to put them on, I cannot stress this enough for mods and maintenance. Do the external PCV system and plug the PCV ports. That was one. I've owned two N54 cars over the 5 years of over 5 years, and out of any mod or maintenance I have done, that was the best mod I could have ever done. I've always, on both my N54s, always had issues with, like, going from vacuum to boost, it would get hiccups. My second one was really bad, like, because I had like my second one's bad just because it had a vacuum leak from the intake manifold bolt breaking. So that's how I went into this anyway. I was drilling it out and drilled too deep and went into the head. It went into I went into the head. Thank God it was not the combustion chamber, it was into the cam valve. So I said, I gotta clean out the metal shavings anyway. So let me go ahead while I'm at it. Let me go ahead and plug the PCV ports, do external PCV setup. Now, at first, I've been reading about this PCV shit for, like 3 months. Everybody, it's so conflicting. So I'm telling you this just because of my experience, especially with my experience from owning N54 cars for years, and also just seeing the difference that it made. So anyway, yeah, so I plugged the PCV ports, ran you can get your PCV fitted. You either get them from ACF, Vargas sells some, RB I think sells some as well. But yeah, get you some PCV delete fittings. So what I recommend, what I did was I ran I can probably send a diagram and a picture, but I ran a PCV delete fitting, ran a line from that into a check valve. Check valve was facing towards the intake manifold. From the check valve, I ran a line to the oil catch can, and then out to the inside of the oil catch can to the outside, and I ran into the intake manifold. Now, I have a custom port manifold, but if you have a stock manifold, you can use the T fitting that goes into the I think the throttle vacuum. I don't know which one it is, but they sell those too. But yeah, when I did that though, like I kid you not, I had issues with high trims. Like my trims, when I'm cruising, my trims go up to 34. Like that means that was the signal I had a vacuum leak somewhere. Also, they will cause a stumble at low, like a high low, like a middle low, low RPM. It will start to like buck. So I had that issue. I had issues with my AFR is not returning all the way back to 230, like to open loop quickly. It would take like, it would never return. So what I ended up doing when I did that, ran everything together, checked the technical boost leaks after that, it ran so much more smoother. From vacuum to boost, no hiccups, just like real smooth, like the car just felt so smooth. Also my trim, like my loops, it will return to 234 quickly. The boost is so smooth now, it holds boost all the way up to the high RPM instead of like tapering down. Oh, and my drone had really bad drone, and it was just because the wastegates wasn't closing all the way because I didn't have a good vacuum. So when I did that, my drone went away. I had absolutely no drone. And what was the last thing? And But yeah, I think overall, like I said, I can't stress this enough. Do it before you do anything, I'm telling you, because if you don't properly get that right, you're going to have problems with your upgraded turbos. You're going to have rattle. Because I had wastegate rattle, really bad rattle. When I fixed that, my rattle went away. So, and I think, oh yeah, this is what I meant to say. I think that the reason why a lot of have vacuum, you don't sometimes see that the valve cover can have, because after me testing this, like going through this shit with this intake manifold, I did a lot of boost leak testing, and if them PCV ports are not plugged, you will get a vacuum leak through the valve cover. If there's a slight, even if there's a slight little crack in the valve cover or a slight little deformation in the gasket, you will get a vacuum leak, and that will throw everything off. So I cannot stress this enough. If you're going to do it, if you don't go and do these turbos before you do anything, while you're in your stock turbos right now, do the PCV delete. Get rid of the PCV system in the valve cover, because your car is gonna run so much better. Like, once you do that, then you can start working on your turbos. But get that out the way now. Like, it's not that bad as people be thinking. The only way you can break a tap, unless you use a cheap ass, don't use a cheap ass tap, use a good tap. Only way you break a tap if you just being just abusive with it. Like, take your time, use some grease, use something up to catch all the foulings. You don't technically have to take off the intake manifold, but I recommend that you do. But you won't get any shavings. If you use grease, you definitely get any shavings inside of intake manifold. But like I said, I recommend you do that as well. But yeah, sorry for the long video, but I definitely just wanted to get this out just to clear up some things on the PCV system, because if you take care of that, it's going to save you a lot of time and headaches. Trust me, I went through the headaches just for you guys, so I just wanted to get this out there before I forgot. All right, down here checking out.